A lot of people believe that to become successful on YouTube, you basically have to get lucky. That the YouTube algorithm is just randomly selecting channels to go viral, and there's nothing that you can do to gain success on YouTube other than depend on this infamous algorithm. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, even I used to think that this was true. In fact, this is actually my 4th YouTube channel. That's right, I've had 3 channels that all failed miserably prior to this one. And all of those channels failed, not because the algorithm didn't select me to go viral, but because there were some things about YouTube that I didn't quite understand that I do now. And through those failures, and by constantly talking with and observing other successful YouTubers around me, I've been able to identify exactly what separates the channels that become successful from the ones that ultimately fail. And in today's video, we're going to talk about exactly what those differences are, and I'm here to tell you it has nothing to do with luck. Just 5 years ago, I was this kid barely making $400 per week at my day job. I had 0 savings, 0 connections, and at the time, I was starting my first YouTube channel trying to figure out how to become successful. Fast forward 5 years later to present day, after 3 other failed YouTube channels and a lot of other failed businesses, I'm now at a point where last month alone, between all of my income sources, I made a little bit over $60,000. And by the end of next year, I'm projecting to make over $1 million in income by the end of the year. But make no mistake about it, because I am literally just like you. I knew, just like you, that I did not want to spend the rest of my life doing the whole 9-to-5 grind, just barely making enough money to make ends meet, having to check the prices on items at the grocery store to make sure I can actually afford to buy it. No, there was absolutely no way I wanted to live like that. And for me, after several years of starting a ton of different businesses and failing at most of them, including 3 different YouTube channels before this one, I just knew deep down inside that YouTube was the one thing that I wanted to do. And then finally, one day, after several failed attempts at YouTube, I looked at my wife and I said, I really feel like I have to give YouTube another shot. And this time, don't give up, don't quit, but actually see it through and stick with it. And since then, as you can see, that's exactly what I've done. The beginning of this channel was very rocky. For the first several months, I was extremely inconsistent with my posting and lacked the focus required to build a successful YouTube channel. But the moment I began actually focusing and taking my channel serious is when I actually began seeing serious results. And there were 3 things that I specifically began doing over the course of 1 month that if you do, I am extremely confident that your results will be very similar to mine. And these 3 things I like to refer to as the YT3 or the YouTube 3. Basically though, if you can do all 3 of these things together, I'm not even hesitant to say this, but you will be successful on YouTube. But you have to do all 3 of these things together. I see channels doing 1 or 2 of these things extremely well, but their channel still is not growing. And so you have to be doing all 3 of these things in order for this to actually work. And in this video, we're going to talk about all 3 of those things. The 3 things that I started doing on my channel to become successful on YouTube. And the first thing is I realized that despite a lot of the mixed messages out there, the quality of your content on YouTube does matter. There was a period of time on YouTube where a lot of people thought that content quality was not important, and that as long as you were mass producing content, that was enough to grow your channel and become successful on YouTube, even if you had low quality content. And what exactly do I mean by low quality content? Well, for example, your background of your videos is your dirty bedroom with a pile of clothes behind you and your unmade bed. Your audio was very low quality. The music and the sound effects that you use in your video were also very low quality. The lighting in your videos was bad, and overall the video just felt very unprepared and unprofessional. And you know what? That was honestly fine 10 years ago on YouTube. But nowadays we live in a time where basically everyone has access to high quality audio and high quality video with their cell phone. And because of that, all of our standards, all of our expectations for how content should look has increased. Most of us now, when we're watching videos on YouTube, expect a certain level of quality because that's what we're used to now. And if a video doesn't meet those quality standards, then most people will immediately dismiss the content because in a way it makes you not trust the YouTuber. And so when I realized this, I began taking actionable steps to improve the quality of my content. And even today, if you go and watch some of my first videos, they definitely weren't like the worst things in the world, but compared to my videos today, those old videos were comparatively bad. And so what actionable steps did I take on my channel that you can apply to your channel as well to improve your video quality? Well, for starters, I learned that your camera angle is one of the easiest ways to improve the quality of your shot without having to spend a fortune on an expensive camera. Now, yes, the camera is important. I think that having a proper DSLR or video camera will definitely increase the quality of your video. But you could have the most expensive MKBHD camera setup in the world, but if you don't know how to use that camera, then it's pointless. And what I found is that even if you have a cheaper camera camera, if you can get the angle of your shot correct and looking good, then the quality of your videos will increase substantially and people will tend to take you more serious. Just look at how bad the angles were in those videos, and perhaps I'm just overthinking it, but it was honestly very unflattering. So the camera angle is very important, okay? Next are the acoustics in the room that you're recording in, right? The acoustics are more important than you having the most expensive microphone on the market. And the acoustics in the room are the things that you put in the room that help to prevent the sound from bouncing around and creating reverb. And so books, pillows, blankets, furniture, these are all things that can help to improve the acoustics in the room that you're recording in. In my office, I've got acoustics everywhere. Sound diffusers on my ceiling, big heavy blankets hanging around my recording space, audio absorbers directly behind my camera to help prevent the audio from bouncing around. You can easily get away with buying a super cheap $99 mic such as the Rode Video Mic Go, and as long as the acoustics in the room that you're recording in are good, then your audio will sound amazing without you having to go and spend thousands of dollars on the best mic, okay? And so good camera angles, good acoustics, and the last thing, which is arguably the most important thing that I see so many people ignoring, is having high quality music and sound effects. I can't tell you how many times I clicked onto a video and that video was using free music from YouTube's free audio library, and that same music is being used on hundreds of thousands of other videos. And in my opinion, this greatly reduces the quality and originality of your videos. And so I urge you to stop using the free music. Finding high quality and original music is not that expensive, and it's not going to cost you more than a couple of cups of coffee per month to get high quality audio. Now, the website that I use personally to find all of my high quality original music is Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has an endless catalog of music. In fact, they've got over 30,000 professionally produced songs in a variety of genres and over 90,000 different sound effects. And the thing that I love most about Epidemic is this find similar button next to every single song. If you're listening to a song and you like it, but it's not quite right for your specific needs, you can just click on the find similar button to see what other songs there are that have that same mood, genre, vibe, and BPM. And if you click on the Discover tab, Epidemic will recommend songs that you can use based on your specific YouTube channel. Now, the best part is that if you use my link in the description below, you'll get a free 1-month trial to use Epidemic Sound. And so if you want high quality and original music and sound effects for your videos, then use my link down below to get started with your free 30-day trial. So after video quality, the second thing that I started doing on my channel was being more consistent. When I was first getting started, I had a very inconsistent and irregular posting schedule. One week I would post 2 videos, the next week 1 video, and then I wouldn't post any videos for 2 weeks straight, and this just went on and on for months. And then I began to observe something very interesting. I noticed that all the channels on YouTube that weren't growing, even if they had high quality content, that still wasn't enough to help them grow because they were not posting consistently. And then on the contrary, all the channels that were growing on YouTube were being consistent, as well as doing all of the 3 things in the YouTube 3. And those channels were growing and seeing massive success. I remember years ago watching a Casey Neistat video, and in that video, he was saying something along the lines of,
"You can't succeed here if you're uploading once a month. If you want to succeed here, you've got to show up for work every single day." That took me 5 years to learn.
I'm not saying you have to post a video every single day, right? For some people, that's literally impossible. But perhaps you post 2 videos per week, right? And then all the days that you're not recording, you're doing research and you're trying to figure out ways to grow your YouTube channel. I see so many channels being so inconsistent and then they wonder why they can't grow. And I've even seen channels that used to be consistent and their channel was growing and they were doing great, but then they stopped being consistent. And as a result, their channel stopped growing. And I can say with the utmost confidence that if you want to be successful on YouTube and you've got the high quality content, being consistent is the second part of the formula that you absolutely must do. You have to show up for your audience, otherwise your audience will not show up for you. And so you've got the high quality videos, you're being consistent, but there's one more thing that I see so many people missing, and that is the topics that they're choosing to make their videos about. If you want your channel to grow, you have to talk about things that people are actually interested in. Let's say, for example, that you have a coffee YouTube channel, right? And I want you to think back maybe 5 years ago to when the Keurig coffee maker was just getting really popular. During that time, if you had a YouTube coffee channel, it would have made perfect sense for you to talk about the Keurig coffee maker because that's when they were getting popular. And so that topic in particular was extremely popular. And if you would have made content around that topic, there's no doubt, especially if you had high quality content and you were posting consistently, that your channel would have exponentially grown. Now imagine for a second that instead of talking about the Keurig, you chose to talk about the Mr. Coffee coffee maker. Do you think that your videos, even if they were high quality and even if you were posting consistent content, do you think that your videos would have performed as well as they could have if you instead posted about the Keurig? Of course not. And this, of course, is just one example, but this principle of making videos, of making content about things that people are actually interested in applies to every single niche across YouTube. You have to find topics in your niche that you know your audience will be interested in. And if you don't know, then you'll have to take some time to do some research. Go to the top channels in your niche and filter the videos by most popular. Do this for several channels in your niche and I guarantee you'll start to see a trend. A lot of the videos from the top channels have videos about the same topic or at least similar topic. Or perhaps there's a topic that's currently trending in your niche. Several months back in the personal finance niche that my channel's in, the metaverse was very popular. And so if you made content about the best metaverse stocks or the best metaverse investments, those videos typically did well for most personal finance channels, especially if you had high quality content. But that's it though, the YouTube 3. These are the 3 things that I did on my channel consistently for about a month before I began seeing actual growth start to happen. Now, if you want more help growing on YouTube, I've got a 100% free YouTube course coming out very soon on my website, mayouniversity.com. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, go to mayouniversity.com and enter your email so that you can be notified once the site goes live and the course is ready. If you have not already dropped a like down below for the YT algo or subscribed to the channel, please do both those things. It would mean the world to me. You guys are amazing and I appreciate every single one of you watching. I mean that. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And as always, I will see you again very soon. Take care.